everybody. We hope you've had a fun night with us tonight. We hope you learned a little bit of history about the Mordecai property, about some of the stories that we've experienced here at the Mordecai house and surrounding buildings. And we hope you enjoyed some of our live paranormal investigations. We wanted to give you a chance to ask any questions that you might have for our team members. If you want to ask us a question, feel free to put it in the Facebook or the YouTube chats, and we are happy to answer any questions that you might have. For those of you who have already reached out and asked me how I'm doing after what happened in the house, I'm doing much better. After I left the room that I was in, I went back into Ellen's room. I don't know how to explain this other than I sat on the floor in Ellen's room and was basically overtaken by a feminine feeling of a woman in the house that was related to the male presence that I was experiencing in the room across the hallway. And so the feeling that I was having that was so, I don't know how to explain this other than abusive, was not directed to me, but it was directed to this woman. And so it transferred over from the feeling that I was having with him to the feeling that I was having from her. I basically bawled like a baby. My awesome teammates helped me out, took me outside. I was able to lift that feeling off of me, left it in the house, and then I've been better ever since. So thank you for your kind words and for checking on me. I appreciate it. Something that happens every now and then. Was not expecting it tonight. Wasn't the greatest feeling in the world, but that's why we do this kind of work, because you never know what you're gonna experience and get. But if you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you, Amanda.
And I do see one question. Hey guys, I'm John. I'm kind of been behind the scenes tonight. If you don't mind starting off with your questions, if you can actually say like questions : and make it a little bit easier for me to see on my laptop. Looks like we got a question from Jessica. She's asking the team, do you think spirits engage more with questions / provocations that have to do with the time they live during? So do you think spirits respond more to questions or provocations that have to kind of do with when they were alive, instead of just like random questions?
That's a good question, actually. Obviously, if there's a history of, say, Civil War soldiers, we'll ask questions that maybe Civil War soldiers want to hear or would know the answer to. But sometimes we'll get answers from voices that we have no idea why they're there. For example, a while back we did an Elks Lodge and we were looking for the spirit of a Hispanic maid that had passed away there, and the only voice we had was actually a male voice cussing at us. So that was an interesting experience, not what we expected. But I mean, for example, like the Andrew Johnson's birthplace, it's been here. This land has been here a long time, obviously. There's been a lot of other things that have happened here. So what we're getting may not be associated with the house. You just never know. That's why we ask very, I may ask if it's a Civil War place, Civil War questions, and then I'll ask like, how about those Brooklyn Dodgers? People love sports, people, in the 20s and 30s. If there's a spirit from that time period that may have been in there and passed away that nobody knows about, maybe they'll like that. Or I'll mention beer a lot because, beer kind of has been universal throughout time. So you never know. It's a good question though. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think so. Every team's a little bit different, and everybody on the team is a little bit different. We tend to avoid provoking spirits. We try to treat our investigations with respect. So you're not going to hear a lot of like negative things going towards spirits trying to get them to talk to us. We do have a tendency to research our locations and learn more about the history and try to find things that it might relate back to them. So like when we go to the battleship in the USS North Carolina battleship in Wilmington, we usually tend to choose music from the 1930s, 1940s, music that the boys on that ship would have been familiar with. When I go to that ship, I tend to bring my grandfather's World War II medal, and I've gotten some really, really interesting responses when I carry that medal with me and I present it to the spirits on that ship. I do tend to get more activity. So yeah, it always just depends on the location, because like Nick was saying, like sometimes you don't know if that person is actually related to the location, or if they might be from a totally different era, and so we try to mix it up and do a little bit of everything during investigations to see if we can draw them in different ways. Anything you would add?
No, I think I'll answer.
Okay.
Hopefully that answers the question.
Let's see. Sisyphus, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, wants to know if we saw anything visually
I did not.
Tonight,
I believe tonight.
everything I saw has been debunked, unfortunately. The person we saw walking by the window was actually Kelly.
Sorry.
And then the other person we saw walking by the window, the chapel, was one of the caretakers. But I didn't see anything. Doesn't mean we didn't get anything on audio and video, but that's why it's important to go back and review everything and just be very thorough about it. Did you guys see anything?
No.
Only in my
Not
head.
tonight. Only in your head. No, not here, not tonight.
We haven't been out here very long. Usually investigations go a lot longer than this. So in that little amount of time, it's not surprising that not a whole lot happened. I mean, we can spend 8-10 hours in a place and have absolutely nothing happen the whole time, which is usually how it works. So in this small amount of time, it's not surprising that not a whole lot happened. But you just never know. That's why we do it.
So I have a question on Facebook from Amanda. She wants to know, how long have y'all been investigating? Do you all ever have negative reactions towards y'all from a spirit? And so it usually takes us, everybody kind of takes time going through their tape recorders and the video recordings, and then we come together as a team, we share things to see what we can debunk, and then we'll post things to our YouTube channel or our Facebook channel. So it's usually a few weeks before we get around to all that, since we all have day jobs too. So we will start working on that though soon. For myself, with the Ghost Guild, I've been investigating, gosh, it feels like forever now. So for a few years, and was with a different team before that for about a year. And then prior to that, it was a lot of just amateur, like personal investigating at friends' houses who said that their houses were haunted. And then just a lot of personal experiences that I had through the years. Jenny?
Let's see, I started investigating around 2009, so it's been about 11 years with a couple different groups. A year and a half now, give or take, with the Ghost Guild.
Nicholas?
I've been with the Ghost Guild for a little over a year and a half now, but I've been actively investigating since 2006. John?
Yeah, I guess I can answer questions too. I'm not always, well, it's actually my first time I've been the behind the scenes guy, but I don't know, Nick, how long have I been doing this?
2013 maybe?
I've been doing this since 2013. I lose track of time. I'm not good with numbers. But yeah, I've been doing this. I actually joined one of Nick's teams years ago at this point. And so yeah, I've been with the Ghost Guild for about a year. So we've got some more questions. Beth King wants to know, if I didn't scroll too far. Sorry, Beth. What is the scariest experience that you've ever had doing this? I could probably answer. So probably OSR. OSR is the Ohio State Reformatory.
Also known as Shawshank Redemption.
Yep, it's where Shawshank Redemption was filmed. and me and it was with a different team. I was with someone called Aaron Wadia. He was like my partner on the investigation. And at one point we were in some like offices, and there were so many bats flying. I was literally crawling because they were like flying like body height. It was crazy. Like we had to like crawl out of the office. And that was terrifying because I was like, I'm gonna get rabies, turn into a vampire. Like it was nuts. Like it was. I know it's not like a paranormal thing, but I was absolutely terrified. It was crazy. Nick, how about you?
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't had a lot of crazy paranormal scarings, if you will. The most frightened I've ever been is from wildlife, which kind of like John. A while back, me and my old team, we did the Latta Plantation in Charlotte, and we heard wildcats or bobcats out. I think I mentioned this actually earlier. Bobcats out in the woods, and those sound like a woman screaming. And they were actually chasing after one of our investigators because earlier in the night she had been playing with a newborn baby lamb, so she smelled like dinner. And the bobcats were chasing her, and I looked out the window and I saw a flashlight going like this and her running and yelling, and of course I think it scared her a little bit more than it did me, but I was a little bit afraid for her well-being. And then just the other times I've been frightened were just bad timing. Like I'll be in the middle of a crazy super intense EVP session, and then there'll be a long silence and somebody calls on the radio, "How you doing, Nick?" And then I jump 10 feet and hit my head on the wall, and yeah, it's crazy. Is that a raccoon or a cat? Anyways, sorry. See, wildlife, see, you know, you never know.
I think it's a cat.
But the most scared I've ever been for ghostly reasons, geez, I don't know. Walking around some of these places just is creepy anyways, like place like the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, West Virginia, just being there is very intimidating. And it doesn't help that they have a Silent Hill sounding alarm that goes off at 11:45 and you think you're being transformed to another dimension. If you saw the movie, you'd understand that reference, but that's exactly. Just a crazy place. Kelly?
I don't tend to get scared on investigations. I get startled every now and then. When I was on the battleship and I was in the sick bay and the bed springs behind me went boing, and then my partner at the time went, if that was you, can you do it again? And it went boing. And so it like startles you. But I've never genuinely like just been like afraid on an investigation. I'd say the one thing that's freaked me out the most is actually a time when I was sitting in my house, and I have a dog named Whiskey Taco, and Whiskey and I were sitting on the couch and watching a television show, and on the television show they started talking about demons, and I don't mess with demons, but they started naming the demon out loud, and that's not something you should do. But all of a sudden I found myself saying the demon's name in my house out loud, which it wasn't coming from me, but it was coming from me. And all of a sudden my dog starts freaking out. And so of course I'm thinking like, oh, I'm just freaking myself out. He just has to go to the bathroom. So take my dog outside and we're walking around. He goes to the bathroom. We come back. He won't go into the house. He will literally not go into the house, and he's just whining and whining and whining, and so then I'm like, all right, don't overthink it, just take him out again, maybe he's just not done yet. And so I'm walking my dog around, and he seems okay, and then I start going back to the house, and he will not go in the house. And my dog is very sweet, very lovable, happy-go-lucky little Chihuahua, and he will not go in the house. And so like I have to go in my freaking house. So I pick him up and I throw him in the house. Aww. And he runs through the house, like past the living room to the back door, which I left ajar, and he runs out into the back porch and is hiding and just whimpering. And in the house I can feel a heaviness, which I'd never felt in my house before. My house is full of awesome energy, but some other stuff had happened prior to this, and so I go through my whole house. I do a sage cleansing, do my own personal ritual that I tend to do after pretty heavy investigations, and I go through the entire house, and my dog comes back in, flops down on the couch like nothing was happening. But it was the weirdest experience that I've actually ever had, where I was kind of freaked out, because I do not, like Nelson can tell you, like I tend not to go to places where they say that there's demonic energy. I can deal with a negative entity, like as someone who is a person who maybe is unhappy. I can deal with that, but I'm not messing with no demons. I don't want them in my house. Okay.
One more question before we go to the drawing.
One more question before we go to the drawing.
Well, we've got it looks like a question probably for you, Nelson. Kai, I believe, sorry, again, I apologize if I mispronounced your name. Kai wants to know how people can get involved.
Ooh, that's a great question. Let's show Nelson.
Yeah.
Get involved. So now you're talking about behind the scenes. Welcome to the control booth. Get involved. Actually, I would say find a good team, find a reputable team. See if they open investigations to the public every once in a while. Join them and kind of learn from them. There's a lot of different opportunities. We do once at least a year with a battleship. So make sure you like our page so you'll get notified when we post that event. But yeah, that would probably be the best thing to do, is learn from someone that's been doing it for a while, and yeah, that would be my answer. Hopefully that answers your question.
Cool.
Just wanted to say Nelson's put a lot of work into this, by the way. He's done a great job of putting us all together. The guy is a machine. He just has so much passion for this and the team and the history and everything. It's amazing the amount of work, the amount of passion he has. So yeah, let's all give him a round of applause.
Thank you.
And I've got like a random picker who I've been picking people that have been commenting in YouTube tonight, and it looks like Andy and JoJo is the number 6, the winner of this particular segment. So congratulations, Andy and JoJo. You'll be entered into the prize drawing that we'll have here, I believe, in a few minutes, correct?
Yes.
Is that the next step, Nelson? All right.
We just go into that now, or do we take a break? How does that work?
Nope. Go right into it.
Go right into it.
Right into it.
Dive right into what everybody's been waiting for.
We enter in Andy and JoJo's name here.
When are you picking which ones we're gonna go first? Which
Yep.
prize, and then they'll give you the name?
Put
Okay.
Jenny.
She did.
All right.
So this is Andy and JoJo, yes?
First prize.
No, he's gonna
Nope,
randomly
Oh,
pick.
he's going to randomly
I'm gonna randomly
pick.
pick the
Okay.
name.
People who have won
So-
throughout the
Randomly pick.
evening, he has them in
All
the
right, so-
random generator, and so he's gonna random generate to see our first prize of the night.
This is the first prize of the night. Gleanings from Long Ago, written by Ellen Mordecai herself.
And I believe that's signed. Is that correct?
This is not the, I don't believe
Not
this is a
that
signed
one.
copy.
Sorry, we are
Just kidding.
Psych.
Just
we are
kidding.
professionals. I apologize.
Yeah, sure, it'll be signed.
All right, and Jessica Sage wins.
Hey, Jessica!
Jessica!
Good job, there's your book.
Yay.
Jessica, make sure to send us a message so we know how to get it to you.
Yeah, just connect with us on the Ghost Guild Facebook. Send us a message however you want, and tell us like your preferred way for us to get the book to you. But make sure you message us on Facebook. And if your name's different on YouTube than it is Facebook, make sure you tell us your YouTube name, just so we know. All right, so the next prize is...
Prize is a set of $2. First one is Please Don't Call Me Psychic by Nicole Maroc. I hope I'm saying that right. Same author, the second book, The Tritium Hypothesis.
Tritium Hypothesis. By our good friend Nicole
It's on
Moron.
Nicole
Yay,
today.
Nicole! Thank you, Nicole.
Both books are are pretty awesome books. That was one of our presenters from tonight with our good friends at Inspire. And we've got the random generator counting down. Looks like Beth King is the winner. Congratulations, Beth. Alright. What's our next prize?
Our next prize is a very cool t-shirt.
I have this t-shirt and I love it. It's very soft.
It is very soft. And it is, let's see, it is
Large.
a size large.
Size large, alright. The winner is, it's thinking, Andy and Jody. So congratulations.
Andy and Jody, they get to share the t-shirt.
It was JoJo, I apologize.
Oh my goodness.
Man, we are batting 1,000 tonight, guys. I apologize, Andy and JoJo.
Andy and JoJo get to share the t-shirt.
You get to share the t-shirt. Make sure you message us on Facebook, and make sure, if you're, looks like my guess is your Facebook name may be different. Just make sure you tell us your YouTube name as well, so we can make sure to get it to the right person.
Or send us an email.
Or email, yeah, you're right. If you don't have Facebook, or
You can get on our website.
you can definitely visit our website and get our email.
theghostguild.com. Okay. Next winner.
This is
Winners.
This is a signed copy, yes?
Yes.
Where
I
is it?
believe this is the signed copy.
I know I am messing it up. I'm looking for the
This is
signature.
the signed copy.
It's not the signed copy either. All right,
Not the signed copy either.
Isn't it? I thought the Mordecai back there.
I
Nikki
don't know what
was.
you got, but this is Mordecai and early
Oh, Nikki's book is signed. Okay.
An Early American Family, all about the Mordecais, written by Emily Bingham.
This is my Christmas present to myself.
Yeah, it looks like a very interesting book. So, out of the 3 remaining, Kai, K-A-I-I. Again, I apologize the pronunciation, but Kai is the winner. Congratulations.
That's all I have.
Oh, we have one more book. It is the Carolina Haints book. It is not out yet. It's by the Carolina Haints podcast. If you follow that podcast, it is amazing. And you are going to get their brand new book as soon as it's released, donated by the Carolina Haints podcast. So, who is our winner?
Our winner is the thinking. Sarah, you are our winner. Sarah Onowo. You are the winner of the book. Congratulations.
Let me borrow it when you're done with it. That's another one that's on my list. I can't wait. And now,
And
what you've been coming here waiting for all of Halloween nights. Drum roll. Your opportunity to investigate the Mordecai property with the Ghost Guild. And Michael, who's behind the camera. The winner of an investigation with the Ghost Guild is
Amanda Flowers. Congratulations, Amanda. Woo. Yay. I think Nelson will have more details of that probably a little bit later. Correct, Nelson? But Amanda, again.
Pressure.
I know, so much pressure on Nelson. But yeah, so all of our winners, congratulations. Make sure, however you prefer, Facebook or our website, you can send us an email if you don't have Facebook. Make sure you tell us what your YouTube name was, and we'll get your prizes to you. And we hopefully wrote down the winners and what they won. So, but congratulations again, Nelson.
Anything else for us? I'm on this camera. All right, that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us this Halloween in a season so different than those before. We appreciate all of our followers for sticking with us as we, like you, have tried to find our way through all of the challenges, the pleasant surprise opportunities this year has brought. Last but not least, we want to thank the many partners who've contributed to this event. We couldn't have done this without all of the contributions, time, research, and access provided by the team here at Mordecai Historic Park and the City of Raleigh Park's Recreation and Cultural Resources Department. We've been proud to be a part of the work that they do, helping people experience this location and teaching about the role it played in history. We hope it teaches for many years to come. If you've enjoyed this program, please consider liking our Facebook page and or subscribing to our YouTube channel. We'd certainly appreciate it. So here's to more historic Halloweens, to blue moons, and to things we seek to understand. On behalf of the Ghost Guild, we're signing off for the night with a list of the partners who made this possible. Played along a special video that Kathy, one of our members, created for you since she wasn't able to join us tonight. Ghost light out.
Hey everyone, as you can see, my new ghost box came in the mail today. Very excited to try it. I've never actually used one, and this one was probably a little bit higher than my budget allowed, but apparently it has great reviews. People say they're able to communicate with spirits all the time. It works very well. My understanding is that it has this AM and FM radio bands on here where it will scan through these frequencies between the stations continuously. And what you're able to do is, while it's scanning, if there's any spirits present, you're able to ask questions, and the spirits will be able to pull certain words through these frequencies that will allow them to communicate and respond to questions that are being asked. So I'm gonna put batteries in it and give it a whirl and see how it works. I'll let you guys know. Are there any spirits here that would like to talk to me? If so, can you please tell me your name?
Mary.
Maury? Did you say Maury?
Mary.
Did you say... I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear that. Can you say it one more time, please?
Mary.
Oh,
Mary.
Mary.
Yeah, you
Oh,
got it.
okay, Mary. Sorry, I couldn't quite hear you. There's a lot of static. Mary, you're funny. I'm sure you were a very funny person when you were alive.
I'm dead?
I hope so.
Let me check. But my nose and my nails are still growing. That's what dead people do. I'm dead. Oh, I can't curse. That's forbidden. Dead people don't curse. But I do.
You're bad, Mary.
What's your name?
Whose name? My name?
Well, who do you think I'm talking to? What's your name? Holy
Kathy.
camoli. I'm not talking to you no more. Goodbye.
All right, Mary, what do you want to do now?
Netflix and chill?
You want to watch Netflix? That
Yeah.
sounds like a good plan. What kind of movies do you like?
Ghost stories.
Ghost stories. So you like scary movies?
Yup.
Okay, so we'll do Netflix and chill, and we'll find something scary to watch.
Scary, yeah. Scary, scary. Ooh, boo. Ooh. Dead people.
Okay, we'll watch a movie with dead people. Okay, that sounds good. All right. All right, Mary, I got Netflix on. Looking through movies. Are you here, Mary?
Close.
You're close. How close are you?
Very close.
I see dead people.
Where?